All right, let's get right into this story. It's Thanksgiving 2022, and the family of 22-year-old Jasmine Pace is starting to get worried. She suddenly canceled plans, which is strange enough, but their concern is about to turn into full-blown alarm, all because of a single, very strange post that pops up on her social media, a post that would unravel an absolutely horrific crime.
So you see this post, and at first glance, it seems totally normal, right? Enjoying Thanksgiving with my baby. But for Jasmine's family, this was an immediate, glaring red flag. Her mom, Katrina, saw the selfie and just knew the outfit was way too revealing. It just wasn't her daughter's style. And for her father, Travis, one specific detail in that photo was about to turn that nagging concern into pure panic. You see, her dad noticed something crucial was missing. Jasmine had these extensive tattoos all over her upper right arm. They were like a timeline of her life, you know? And in this photo, they were completely gone. He knew, right in that moment, this picture was old. This wasn't some holiday post. This was a lie. Someone was online pretending to be Jasmine, while the real Jasmine, well, she was nowhere to be found. And this timeline just shows you how fast everything started to unravel. Jasmine leaves her mom's place on November 22nd. The very next day, those weird texts start coming in and that fake Facebook post goes up. And when her family couldn't get a hold of her, they didn't wait around. They used the My Chevy app, a GPS tracker in her SUV, and they found it at the Signal View condos, a place they were pretty sure Jasmine had never even been to. And when they found her car, what they saw inside pretty much confirmed their worst fears. See, Jasmine was petite, only 5'2", but the driver's seat, it was pushed all the way back. That was a dead giveaway that she was not the last person to drive her own car. Someone much, much taller had been behind that wheel. So, desperate for any kind of answer, Jasmine's mom gets her phone records. And they show one single call on the night of the 22nd that lasted for 71 minutes. She calls the number, and a guy named Jason Chen answers. He was a computer science student Jasmine had been dating. But when she asked if he'd talked to Jasmine, Chen lied. He claimed they only spoke for a few minutes. That immediate deception, it was another massive red flag. And this was the moment everything changed. While she was frantically searching through everything, Jasmine's mom found a text message she'd missed before. It was sent from Jasmine's phone at 2:18 in the morning. No words, no explanation, just a dropped location pin. This one message, which was basically a digital cry for help, led her parents straight to an apartment building on Tremont Street. So they get to the location, and there's only one apartment, number 210, that's unaccounted for. Neighbors told them they'd heard a huge disturbance from that very unit. When Jasmine's parents finally managed to get inside, the scene was just chilling. A notebook told them the person living there was Jason Chen. They found Jasmine's travel bag, her ID, her credit cards, and a really unsettling amount of cleaning supplies. And then, the final horrifying discoveries, a kitchen knife just sitting on the bed and what looked like bloodstains all over the apartment. With all this evidence, the police finally got a search warrant and started piecing together Jason Chen's movements from surveillance footage. And the timeline they uncovered shows this methodical, calculated cover-up. On November 23rd, he's on camera buying cleaning supplies, dumping evidence in a dumpster, and then driving Jasmine's SUV to abandon it. And then, they see the most disturbing thing of all, footage of him struggling to haul a large, very heavy suitcase to his car. Meanwhile, the digital evidence was just as damning, if not more so. While Jasmine's body was most likely still in his apartment, Chen was sending these casual messages. He even sent this text to Jasmine's phone, which he now had, acting like he was just talking to her the next morning. He was also making plans to play video games with his friends and even messaging another woman on Tinder, saying, "I guess we're dating now." It's just unreal. Using the data from Jason's own phone, investigators were able to track his movements after he left with that heavy suitcase. They followed his path all the way to a place called Suck Creek Road, and there they found it, the suitcase. Inside was the body of 98-pound Jasmine Pace. The autopsy would later reveal the horror of what happened. She had been stabbed over 60 times and was found shackled in handcuffs. So the trial starts in January 2025, and in a pretty shocking opening, the defense doesn't even argue that he's innocent. They get up there and admit Jason Chen killed Jasmine Pace. So the entire case from that point on was going to come down to one single question. Was this a pre-planned first-degree murder, or was it a sudden, unplanned act of passion? See, the defense was trying to get a lesser charge, voluntary manslaughter. Their whole argument was that Chen was provoked and that he just snapped in a heat of passion. If they could get the jury to believe that, he would avoid a life sentence. But here's the thing, when you actually look at the evidence, the defense's entire story just completely falls apart. They claimed the fight started because of Tinder notifications on his phone, but phone data showed he got 0 notifications that day. They said the two had been drinking wine for hours, but the autopsy found no alcohol at all in Jasmine's system. And their claim that Jasmine attacked him first was totally contradicted by the medical examiner, who testified that her wounds suggest she was attacked while she was already handcuffed and curled up in a fetal position.
The prosecution really drove home the point that this was not some sudden moment of passion. A neighbor testified that she heard screams and footsteps running toward the front door at 2:11 a.m. 7 minutes later, at 2:18 a.m., Jasmine sends that location pin. Think about that. This wasn't a quick, impulsive act. In those 7 minutes, Jasmine knew she was in grave danger and she was desperately trying to get help out.
Well, the jury was not buying the defense's story, not for a second. After deliberating for less than an hour, they came back with their verdict: guilty of first-degree premeditated murder.
For the sentencing phase, the jury had to decide if he would ever even have the possibility of parole. They concluded that the murder was especially heinous, atrocious, or cruel, and that it involved torture. And with that, the sentence was delivered: life in prison with no possibility of parole. Ever.
You know, in the end, it is so important to remember the person at the very heart of this tragedy. Her family described Jazzy as clever and brilliant, and just fiercely protective of all the people she loved. She was a devoted aunt and a godmother who dreamed of having children of her own one day. A life that was just so brutally and senselessly cut short.
This case really leaves us with a powerful and, frankly, unsettling thought. From that very first fake social media post, Jasmine's family knew something was wrong. Their refusal to accept the easy answers, their relentless private investigation, that's the only reason this case got solved as quickly as it did. It really makes you wonder, when the system is slow to respond, what is the true value of a family's unwavering intuition?